know the AFL is trying to stamp out open palms, the Gold Coast forward said. Seeing a player as tough as Maynard drop from one only reinforces that. Welcome back to AFL from LA. I'm your host, Cindye, and I'm standing across from one of LA's favorites, the House of Pies, where TV shows like The L Word and 90210 were shot. A few things I've learned this round. The AFL, not so great at scheduling. Ken Hinckley, still not getting any sleep. And holding the ball, still anyone's guess. Let's get to it. The thoughts of the AFL community are with Brayden Maynard, after the defender took one of the biggest hits of the year in the Pies' 11-point loss to Gold Coast. So forceful was the open palm to Maynard's chest that it sent the defender crashing to the ground, clutching his head, sparking fears of a potential concussion. Ben Long, the Gold Coast player responsible, confessed that he added several kilos of muscle to his palm in the off-season, mostly via thumb curls and pinky crunches, and apologized for his violent act. We all know the AFL is trying to stamp out open palms, the Gold Coast forward said. Seeing a player as tough as Maynard drop from one only reinforces that. Critics are demanding Long be handed a hefty fine, a 1-week suspension, or at least be forced to wear gloves. Maynard, meanwhile, is being applauded for his bravery to finish the game, with some at the AFL suggesting an award should be named after him. A Twitter poll asking for name suggestions was mysteriously pulled down after just 10 minutes, though, with the AFL citing technical issues as the reason. Maynard himself was unavailable for comments, last seen grabbing a coffee with Stephen May outside the Academy of Performing Arts. Geelong coach Chris Scott has admitted that his team's grueling 8-week rebuild has been the toughest of his career. His comments come in the wake of the Cats' 8-goal smashing of Essendon, a victory that keeps Geelong tantalizingly close to the top 4, despite having lost 6 of their last 7. Things were touch and go, the head feline admitted. 8 weeks is a long time to ask of anyone. I just thank Cats fans for sticking with us during these dark times. Brad Scott, meanwhile, is confident his team will beat fraud allegations, having lost 3 of their last 4, and yet to beat a team sitting in the top 8. Grouchy Pants told critics 7 of their remaining 8 games are played in Melbourne, 3 against bottom 8 teams, and Jake Stringer is working really hard on his post-goal celebrations. Asked if he feared a repeat performance of his team's fade-out from last year, Scott admitted that he did, but said the thought of returning to an office job at the AFL was twice as terrifying. Justin Longmuir has admitted to being as confused as anyone by his team's accuracy in front of goal on the weekend. The Dockers kicked at a season high of 63% to secure a nail-biting 1-point victory over Cindye and catapult them into 3rd place on the ladder. We followed sports science to a T, J-Lo admitted. No goal-kicking practice ever, and benching players immediately after they score. Asked if there might be something in this whole accuracy thing, Longmuir admitted he wasn't sure, saying it went against the Coaches Association's mandate of forcing turnovers. Fans used to like silky skills, loads of marks, and full forwards kicking hundreds, the coach said. But today they want to see a pressure gauge of 200 and 4 quarters full of forced errors. The game's come a long way. Footy fans, meanwhile, are in the grips of grand final fever, as the only 2 teams to have beaten Cindye, Fremantle and Richmond, prepare to clash at Optus Stadium this Saturday. Asked if he'd begun preparations for the game, Longmuir said he'd like to enjoy a few more days staring at the ladder, but would get around to it. Tigers coach Adam Uze, meanwhile, admitted his team was in unfamiliar territory, but said they were already Googling directions to the airport and what to pack for an interstate trip. And if you're enjoying the channel, why not become an AFL from LA supporter? Links in the description, and don't forget to say good day in the comments. My feelings about the Brisbane-Melbourne game can best be summed up in a poem. At Brisbane's Gabba, a tale unfolds of Lions who kicked like they had colds. 20 behind, oh what a sight, but somehow they still won the fight. Josh Dunkley grabbed the ball with zest, while Lachie Neale proved he's the best. Clayton Oliver, a demon star, his His best so close, but yet so far. Young Ashcroft showed his ACL's fine, while Monant's Wakefield crossed the line. From rookie to player, just like that, in a game that left supporters flat. Pickett teased with goals aplenty, but in the last he was oh so empty. The D's turned back the clock, they say, but time ran out on this fateful day. The Demons tried to tame the pride, yet Brisbane's roar couldn't be denied. A free kick sealed Melbourne's fate. McCluggage's boot closed the gate. So Brisbane climbs to number 8, while Melbourne needs to resuscitate. In the end, 'twas not who played best, but who managed to stuff up less.